Okay, welcome you guys. This is very personal. What I'm going to talk about today is not nothing different than I have done in the past, but it's going to be very personal. And I wanted to share that because it's very clear to me that when I look at the marketplace right now, when I'm here to give people results, whoever I get through to when it comes to results, they automatically turns to gold. And it's not about changing, the body. It's about changing as a person. Like I've been doing this over and over, and whoever I'm able to touch, like it's different. It's just different than what we see in the marketplace. And it's important because I said I need to go personal, much more to a deeper level than usual, because like you need to really see what it means to change identity. Okay. And this is important today. And like why I'm gonna talk about some of the things, like if you walk away today with anything else, walk away with the fact that you need to do something, meaning like you need to actually, I'm going to give you something to do. And those that are going to do it is going to be a very huge different thing than those are not. I said it before. I said it like in the intro. I said, there is not a person either now or in the past that if been coached by me, that's much well as they're doing, that they didn't need this call. This is probably the most important call. And I stress everybody, if you can come live, because it's like, we had in the past Zoom not recording, and even if I made a recording and it's not going to be recorded, it's going to suck because I'm not going to do it twice. I'm going to touch some personal stuff, and even though I could do it again, it's important that you guys are here to get something out of this, and I'm going to go to a degree more deeper than usual. And again, it's like, how do we manifest success? It's clear to me that what I'm doing, like in that level I'm doing it, it works for people, and it's like, do you need to go through with you in a way that is different? So we're talking about how do we change who we are? How do we improve our life from changing who we are, not our circumstances, okay? And again, it's like, this is what I wanted to get out of today. It's talking about, I can give you a framework, but a framework is like, does nothing if you don't do it. And again, it's like, it was important for me to have everybody here to actually be able to listen to that today. And obviously, it's important to change identity. Why is that important? Is because everybody at some point in time, they got results. They lost kilos, they lost, they changed the body, only to be very insecure moving forward, only to be like, okay, as soon as I see results stopping, I'm no longer believing I can do it. I'm no longer changing as a person, I'm just changing on the outside. And why did I want to do this call? It's like, I can actually give you some perspective, I hope, to actually understand why I don't see myself as that anymore. Why I don't just focus on changing myself on the outside, only not to change on the inside. I had to go a level deep. And obviously, in order for you to get this to happen, you need to understand where it comes. Because like when results stop, insecurity creeps up. And obviously, it's hard for you to be able to see results again, right? Why I wanted to put it this way today, obviously it's no secret that we as coaches, we have coaches ourselves. We have people that, coaches us, and like we have, people we turn up to as well. Myself, I have hundreds, tons of mentors. And there is this thing, this knowledge in the marketplace that you can give a framework to 1,000 people and, same support, same systems online, same support, same website, similar support system, yet 80 people crush it. And then there is always like maybe, I don't know, maybe 20 people that don't crush it. They cannot achieve results. Why is that? It's like, and it comes down to, we were talking in one of the calls not so long ago with other mates. And I was like, it comes down to a specific thing, which is basically the inability to really deal with your own stories, your own belief, your own ability to feel like this is going to happen, right? Is it confidence or self-confidence, self-worth of lack of self-worth? And is usually this is what it comes down to, because at the end of the day, it cannot be for any other things, okay? It cannot be for any other things, because at the end of the day, it's the same systems, okay? So if only part of the people can get the results or keep the results, it comes down to the ability to somebody to change as a person, right? And this is kind of like what we're going to talk about today. And I want to talk about how I was able to really, please, all you people moving in later on, mute yourself. I keep saying, and don't unmute yourself. Thank you. So the thing is that, why do we operate on 95% results rate? Why are we able to do that? Why do we operate on people 90% stickiness? That means like 9 out of the 100 people don't stop the program. Why is that? It's because those people with our support are able to change more than just what they look like, right? And it comes down to asking a very important question, right? We've done this with the money example multiple times. We right now live in the world, like the biggest transformation in human history when it comes to making money on yourself. It's the biggest one. We never had anything like that. That means that from scratch, you can just snap your finger, you can just go online, research everything that you can create a product, stuff that you have to that you can sell. You can just do that if you acquire some skills, you are consistent on the skills, and you believe that it's going to work. Very, very simple. Of course, you have to do so despite that you're a mom, despite that you are busy, despite that you have another job, despite like you just need to operate on that level. What are you going to say to your kids or grandchildren in 10, 20, 15 years from now when they ask you, what were you doing on the biggest transformation in human history? Some are going to say, we did something. The other people are going to say, we just let it slide. It just passed by. And that is very important because it's like that's your ownership. You can do it if you want to, right? If you build skills, if you believe, especially if you believe it's going to work, and if you are consistent and not quit, much like in fitness, much like in health. And, you know, why is it, again, how do you do that? It's like there is an analogy, like I heard it not too long ago in a podcast, you know, by the way, what I do just to keep myself motivated, because I'm a human being as well, I do hear motivational speakers. I do that day in and day out when I'm not doing this, when I'm eating every single day, when I'm going to bed every single day. I say my affirmation. Like it's like day by day. Like I operate to a different level, and I'm gonna share to you why. But like it's because I really want, because I'm obsessed to be the best on what I do. I'm obsessed. It's very selfish on me, but I'm obsessed to do it. I'm changing your life, but I want to, like that's my thing too, right? And again, it's like there is this analogy that says you need to work your land. We live here in Switzerland. It's very countryside looking like outside, but you need to be able to work your land. You need to be able to plow. You need to be able to put the right seeds. You need to water the seeds. You need to wait for them to grow. And then one day you take off the fruits. One day, despite bad days, one day, despite you're not feeling like it's going to work, despite it was hard to do it, despite you didn't see results right away, right? And if you are a person that goes to school, you plow your land. If you are a dancer, you plow your land. If you are a mom, you plow your land. If you are a person that you feel like it's not going to happen for you, you plow your land. Like this, it needs to be. If you're like some people I see outside now, Cecilia walking, she's always here, even though like she's always find out a way to show up. People watching the replay, if you have one, why don't you take an example? Why don't you just see what those people, like for instance, Cecilia, Dori, Jennifer, why are they always here? Why? It's like they make time even when you don't have time. You make time. You find out the way to be there, right? So you plow your land. Why is it so? When do you change? What the question is like, okay, I understand that, but I'm really busy. Why cannot, it's like, how does I make it happen? You change when you face adversity. When the pain you're currently in right now is deeper than the perceived pain of change. I'm going to say it again. The pain you're in right now is deeper than the perceived pain of change. Like, I'm going to have to work out a few times a week. I have to eat well, even though when I don't want it. I have to stop doing cardio when somebody tells me to stop. Those things is like perceived pain needs to be lower than the pain that you are in right now. Low confidence, not feeling good, not feeling I'm going to do it. This is when you change. But when you're faced with adversity, and now is what I'm getting personal, right? Many of you knows what happens in my past, right? When I was 10 years old, my dad passed away. When I was 20-something years old, one of my best friends passed away. It was like a brother to me. And I don't know which one I'll share first, but it's the same thing. It's like when, you know, how do we put it? Many people have faced maybe that very early, right? Not probably many people have faced it like I did. Like when, what we were told is my dad was depressed. He passed away, and the way we found him in the same pool outside that we go every summer, okay? Very traumatic event. Imagine 10 years old coming home with my mom and like seeing like your dad in there. And of course, we take him out. and there is always like, it's like, okay, like there is this glimpse of hope that you can still save somebody, right? That's one event, very personal, right? And it's like, and I said, I want to share it because it's like, I want to get through you. And I know this gets through you. Like, it's like many people have faced this thing very early. Not many people have faced the fact that you have to grow up very fast when something like that happens. One of my very best friend, like a brother, math teacher. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today. I would not have graduated. I would not have passed my statistics classes. It was diagnosed with glioblastoma, which is like probably the worst tumor in the brain that you can have. And I remember I was in Flamingo in Miami. I was living in this, if you want to call it paradise, in 2017. He calls me and it's like, they told me, it's like, oh, you know, Daniele, that's his name. It's like, you know, he just got an operation. He didn't feel well. I call him and it's like, hey, by the way, you know, I got diagnosed with this thing. And it's like, he made it seem like it was a flu. It's like, are you sure you're telling me what I'm hearing? It's like, that's what you have? Yeah. And it's like, it made it seem like it was a flu. And like, there is many ways to do things in life. There is many ways to go if you have to go. But the way that it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to what happens. It's not what people tell you, it's how do you interpret the words. I said it before, and it's like, these two events make you feel probably like, you probably be very pissed in the world, right? You're like, okay, maybe it's not that easy, right? And it's like, I know that by the way, the guy he did the operation, he got better for like 3 years, and he never felt once like he was different than other people, like he was disadvantaged than other people. It's like, he kept working so much. He helped me pass, and it's like, he's the guy that when I was flying to US, he took me to the airport to Zurich, like multiple times, come and pick me up. It's like, he didn't do, his mama would say, he didn't do to his brother what he did for you. And like, I'm so forever grateful. And sometimes it's like, like I said, you probably feel like if you believe in anything, right? You pray. Sometimes you say, oh, you ever got into that? You always say, I don't really want to be here right now. I want to like, just save this one time. Just do something and save. Just do something and, make this thing happen for me, or stop this thing not to happen, right? Only for this thing happening, or like you didn't really want it to happen, but it happened anyway, right? And then it's like, you question and you're like, cool, I don't think nothing exists, because like the only one time that I needed help, you didn't help me, right? Yet, he didn't save my father, whatever higher power. He didn't save my friend. What he did though, or what happened was, I did not go into drugs. In one of the first, probably the worst high school that is known here, they were selling drugs. I never once slipped into that. My mom, she was scared of driving. She learned how to drive. So that means that it's like, even though like, the question is like, when you ask something, it's like, don't change my surrounding, or like save this person, or not get this not to happen. You're really asking, it's like, don't change surroundings, change me. This should be what that is. And it's like, unfortunately for some, you need to contract a terrible disease to improve. Some of you really need to get to the deepest lower hand to make this happen. What I'm hoping to get across today is like, maybe you don't need to go there to get something to happen before, right? And it would be cool, because it's like, you're saving yourself a lot of aggravation. And obviously, I'll do my best to give you a perspective change to get it. But it's like, if you ask myself, why are you really so committed to what you do? Why you want, like, it's because I had no choice. Not financially, but it's like I had no choice but to be different based on whatever happened to me, right? And it's like, I see other people, it's like, I am happy that I'm not like them. I'm happy that I don't have to go out constantly. I'm happy that I don't have to be doing the useless thing that they do. It's like, I'm happy to be here instead, right? This is kind of like one of my favorite times of the week when I do one of these things. When do you change? Necessity versus desire, okay? Do you change when you go from wanting to desiring something, and it becomes a necessity? When you want, it's always gonna be like, okay, maybe I'll change, but I don't really want it. As long as I have to do some it's difficult stuff, I'm not really gonna do it. When you start desiring something, then you start putting down something for a change. When you need to do it, when you contract cancer, when you contract diabetes, so when and finally part is I always say it, sadly, the people that are usually have those conditions, unfortunately, are the one that commit the less. The one that commit the more are the one that are very uncomfortable in their skin, which is great, because if that's what it takes for you to commit, I'm fine with it. That's totally fine, right? It's important. We'll touch on the 5 stages of identity if you want, but I really don't feel like that's gonna be the most important thing here. The most important thing here is if I touch on this, what it is, we already talked in the past, is I want to give you a framework to actually do something different today. And the stage of identity is very different. It's simply put, you have to kill the old one and you have to born a new one, identity. That's simple as that. There is no way around it. You need to kill the other one, because otherwise you can't really and again, I'll make some examples later one more time. But it's as simple as that. Awareness. Who are you and why are you here? Not in the war, but in this specific moment today. Why are you here today? If you thought to yourself, I just don't want to be in a certain place a certain time, chances are you need to be there, because it's the one you need the most for your identity, right? So why is it important for you to change? The intention. What are you no longer willing to deal? Environment, toxic people, things that keep repeating itself. Pattern that you should be doing, but you're not doing it anyway, right? Stuff you should be doing, but you're not really doing, or something you should not be doing, but you're doing anyway. Self-sabotaging, right? Then it comes down to obviously the belief that we said before, belief of money or no money, belief of thinking that something's gonna happen, and we'll have a roundtable for the belief, because this thing is it's just so big on itself that we would not have material time to cover that. Is so deep into itself, but you need to believe that it's gonna work. I kept hearing stuff in the past. People fail because they don't have belief. In the old video for Tony Robbins, in the past, I keep saying this thing, they should believe, they really should. And it's I tell that's kind of bullshit, right? It's just believing is not gonna make me believe it. But then today I'm watching is that this thing is actually real. This thing is real. People, it starts from taking an action, multiple action, repeating, and it's when you don't take the first action, when you say I'm 10 out of 10 ready to change, and you're not willing to take a phone call, you're shooting yourself on the foot. And it's because you don't believe it's worth for you. It's unbelievable how people have these standards for themselves, or lack of standards for themselves. Belief. And then, of course, action by planning the thing that moves the needle, and then by executing the thing, and then integrating those things inside your life, right? Why is it hard to make this happen? Because now you're going to tell me, okay, you give me the framework, it's still hard. Yes, because your mind had a tactical and strategical advantage on you. Your mind is going to stop you from making this thing happen when you don't believe it is in line with your results. We are creatures of habits, and we're creatures of belief. And it's if you do not feel like something is possible, if you do not achieve the first memory, like I said in one of the past one, and you say, I don't lose my first 5 kilos, you're always going to be the person that says, she can do it, Cecilia can, Jennifer can, Lamis can, Claudia can, Dori can, but I can't. I cannot do it myself. Why? Because you don't believe it's possible. And mind knows your deepest secrets. Your mind knows your insecurities, your fear, your biggest lies that you say to yourself, and it's going to stop you. I'm going to make a few examples, and I'm going to give you here a framework to actually do it, right? When this is kind of another thing, it's you are meant to live a certain type of life. And again, I don't know what do you believe on. If you do, I don't particularly feel like there is anything, but I do believe that we might go somewhere after the life. And let's pretend, I took a theology class back in Barry University in Miami, when I graduated, we had to take a class, and you get to know all these other religions. It's amazing. And it's pretend that there is somewhere you go to heaven or something of that nature, right? And then you go somewhere and there is somebody judging you, right? And there is a map, like saying all your destiny, you're supposed to be, we'll take Jennifer, for example, you're supposed to have been, a mom that she impacted so many other people, or a successful business owner, and you're supposed to be skinny and in shape, not having any condition and everything, right? And then you go up there, and you go up there regardless. You live like a very average life, and you're overweight, and you didn't do whatever, like, and then you go there, and then you're like, okay, I'm cool, I'm a good person, right? But I'm here, and they show you your map, and you're like, this is the life I'm supposed to have lived, and I didn't, right? Just because I didn't put the energy, just because my mind stopped me from doing a thing. I live my life, I want to outwork this map. If I'm meant to be impacting 1 million people, making millions of dollars, or impacting lives, I want to get to that point and say, I watch my map, and it's like, and somebody judging you is like, okay, I didn't see this coming. Like, you did more than you expected. And this is like, by God, it's like your mind is the one thing that is going to make a difference. The tactical or the strategical force that he has on you on making the right choices. And I'm going to give you an example now, and I want you to do this exercise. Or better say, who is going to do it is probably going to understand why it's important, and it's going to understand that you are your bigger enemy, right? Because I live my life ever since. Every single day, I try to outwork myself. When I feel like, okay, I should just do it tomorrow. Okay, I don't think I'm able to do it. I'll do it. When it's uncomfortable, I'll do it. When I'm not supposed to do something because I think, oh, maybe I'll do it anyway. That's how I live, right? You don't have, that's just me though. Like, you don't have to be you, but like, that's how you create that constant. There is 2 ways to program your mind. Up to 7 years to 8 years old with programming, right? Of hypnosis is called, and then through repetition. It's like we take an iPhone, we put a new operating system, and then we repeat. If you're repeating that you're not going to be able to do it, you're not going to do it. If you're repeating that you cannot do it, you're not going to do it. If you're repeating that I cannot run this much, I'm not going to run. If you're repeating that, oh, I'm not supposed to do that, that's what you're repeating. And you have none of you are 7 years old anymore. You can no longer hope that something is going to change you. You have to change you now. Okay? And like, it's simple as this. It's like, I said it before, necessity versus desire. There are some people here, and when you are running, and I did it myself, I'm running the other day, and I can run only, let's say I run 20 minutes straight, and I start feeling, okay, I don't run anymore. When you say I can't run anymore and you stop, it's because you don't want to chase uncomfort, like you're scared of going out of the comfort zone. When you say I can't do that, that means that physically you couldn't run. You be dead in the floor, or like having a heart attack, you cannot run. Chances are when you said that to yourself, you could keep going, okay? When you do a bench press and like you physically can, okay, now it's literally you cannot do it. But how many times you could have done 5 more? And you said, I can't. Try it. It's unbelievable. I'm telling you, that's going to change your life. Some of you are going to hear, and this is funny because some of you that walks a lot, you're going to, oh, yeah, that's me. Okay, cool. If I never walk, like I walk mostly 5,000 steps, and I said, okay, I want to walk 10,000, and I say, well, I cannot make that happen. It's not that I can't, I'm not just making it happen, but I can. So if somebody put a gun in somebody I love or myself, and they say, or your child, some of you, and this is not even funny, because like when I listen in US, this is some stuff that you hear. This is actually happening, some stuff. Somebody put here and come into your house, break through, and they put a gun. It's like, find me the money by 2 days from now. I bet my butt that you're going to find it. You'll make it happen somehow. There is a lot of things you can do in 48 hours. But it's so funny when I give you, I would say, okay, come to the program. This is what we're going to do. Some people, oh, okay, but is that much money? Oh, okay. Oh, I don't have, I cannot find it. It's like, are you sure? It's not because you don't believe it's going to work. Are you, right? Because it's like, when you say I can't, it means you physically or mentally you can't. So what I want to do with you is like, I'm going to give this, is like, pretend that you have a gun to somebody you love, and say, when you have to run 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that you say, I can run, try to imagine for a second and run 2 minutes or 5 minutes more. And tell me if you can't do it. For some of you, same thing. Like we use like, don't take it any personal, Cecilia, but we'll use you. It's like, if I tell you, Cecilia, there is a gun on your head and you're only going to walk 8 or 7,000 steps, few days, you're going to say to your dog, dog, think I'm going to walk less today. Okay, so it's like, it's very important that you get that part, because it's never that you cannot. It's just like you believe strongly at times that you can, that's the operating system you should go by. It's like, okay, I really think like, okay, that's the way I should do. It never works. If you do that, nothing ever gonna change in your life, ever. If you live that, if you start living on a different way, you're gonna do. So instead of writing down, which of course I love the way that you did, writing down all the stages of identity change, do this one exercise for me. I just asked this question: what is something that takes out of comfort zone? And most of these things were mental, were like, okay, I talked to my ex-partner or whatever the case was, I talked to, or maybe I put my jeans on. Okay, take one thing that is uncomfortable for you. Cecilia, I can choose for you, like you're gonna have to walk less. Lam is maybe, I don't know, talking with more people, right? Well, I don't know, some people, other people, I'm not gonna make more names, but it's like, took a physical, mostly physical thing, like running more, walking more, something that going on a sauna that you can resist only 10 minutes, you resist 15, going on a cold bath or doing cold shower. Take something really uncomfortable that you usually can do for a certain set of time. And when you're about to quit, don't quit. Just say, if I have a gun of somebody's head, how long could I keep going for? If you do that this week, and I want you to post it below, and those of you watching the replay, I hope this is recorded, because sometimes Zoom play tricks on us that is like that. Aside from that, come to the call, but when you don't come to the call, do the exercise as well. Just do extra running or whatever. Like if you're on 5 minutes, go more. If you go on a plank, just go more. If you like, just do that extra thing. And when you're about to quit, it's like, okay, if I had a gun on my face, somebody that I love, what would I do now? Should I just quit? Am I real? Is it real? I really can do something, cannot, or it's just pretend? Because that's going to change your life. I can tell you, you're going to get your first memory this week. When you get your first memory, you know it's possible. Then it's about living your life that way. Is it easy? No. If this is the first time you hear that, do you require help? Yes, for sure. But even if you don't, just do it in everything. I hope this gave you some perspective, because it's like what I get across to you. I said, today I'm going to take like a dagger and I'm going to get it in their heart. Like all of them is like, you need to understand this is what you should live. Otherwise, it's always going to be about, oh, I can't. Oh, this. Oh, as soon as I see the weight creeping up, oh, it's difficult. Oh, no, it's not going to work. It's like the identity never changes until you change. The identity change when you're forced to change. Necessity versus desire all the time. Do this exercise. It's life-changing. Trust me. If you go away, like I know what you can do. I've seen it. Like people that like coach at least 1,000 people. Those that really change for good, that 6 years after they're still there, they change that. I see what they can do. And like they didn't believe they could. People like Marisa, she went almost running a marathon. She was depressed. I see, and she's like, I cannot do it. I know you can. You just need to want it. You guys don't know what you can do. I know, like I've seen it. But you need to want it for real. And it starts from putting yourself, instead of chasing comfort, chase discomfort. You start from that. Instead of, I know some of you, oh, I need cardio because I need it. It's like, that's discomfort for you, but you need to see it in a different way. Oh, I know the opposite. It's like, oh, I want to run more, but I can't. It's like, for real? Have you tried? I mean, did you tell me that you got another attack? I mean, by the way, don't get another attack. It's like, just do 5 minutes more. But when you run, and when like I run, I don't like running. It's like I start feeling, okay, it's hard, I cannot continue. And it's like the head give up the first, but then like your body's like burning and it's like, fuck, I can still go for a little bit. Just when you keep going, it's like, wow, it's like, ooh, it was so easy. I just needed to go a little bit more. Those of you, and obviously this is universal, not many of you here, but like, especially those watching, and I know I'm gonna, like, many have a lot of belief, oh, I don't have money. Oh, I cannot do this. It's like, money is everywhere. There has never been, like, it's so funny to me when I hear that. It's like, money is everywhere. It's like, what you're saying is, I don't have the ability to turn money. Okay. And it's funny to me because it's like, right now, there is that to happen. I don't know who is unmuted, but please mute yourself. Mute yourself, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, and so there is always ways to change. You just need to acquire skill, which is fucking easy. Just go on YouTube and you acquire the skill. Like you literally built a business on YouTube if you want. You just how to make a podcast, how to make a whatever, right? Or there are coaches if you want to do that. That's coaching is always like a matter of getting shortcuts and getting something to happen faster. But it also change your belief system, like they did to me, right? And the skills, that's easy, right? The consistency, which is also easy as long as you don't quit. The most difficult is the belief. The most difficult is the identity change. That's the hard part. Because when you lived in scarcity all your life, making something happen is difficult. But we have here today 30 people, right? Almost. We started this almost 6 months ago. We had 3 people. We had Lamis, he was the first one. We had a few other people. Do you feel like if I believe it wasn't happening, like we would be here today? You know how many times I thought, shit, I should just quit? Mentally? Many. It's like, you cannot, you know how many times I twisted this program around? Like before it was a second chance, then it became something to do with diabetes. You know how many times we twist this before to actually find something that sticks in business, much like in life? Many. It doesn't work the first time. You just have to want it hard enough. We have 5 minutes, lady. If any of you want to talk, now is the time. I thank you so much for the attention. It was very deep for some things, but I needed to get it out for you to see where you are really. And this is just not a waste lost program or group. It's important. Please unmute yourself and tell me who you are if you want. We have, if you want to ask anything or if you want to share anything as well that might help you. We're going to run something similar in the next couple of weeks it's going to be a Q&A hot seat system, or so it can be something with your own mind, or it can also be something that has to do with kind of like your specific situation, and you are welcome to come. But somebody's unmuted, so like, do you want to say anything? Whoever you are. Evelyn, I think. Do you want to say anything, Evelyn? Hello?
Hello.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, so you're muted, not because of, okay, cool. Come on, do you want to say anything, anybody? We have 4 minutes, then I'm going to go to lunch, dinner, but again, like, please unmute. If you want to say anything, I'm all here for you guys. We have like a few minutes though, like, so you need to be quick.
No, it's fine.
Who's
Everything's
talking?
okay. Yeah.
Evelyn. Evelyn, you're doing amazing in the program, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody want to say anything, share anything, ask anything? Like, you can really, like, I'm here for you. Like, if you want to say anything or share anything, or like ask, okay, how do we do that? We can do it. If not,
yeah, I will. Oh, anybody else? Okay, then I'll mute.
Oh, okay. No, actually, I don't want to share anything because I always overshare anyway when I type something. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a compliment. Perfect timing. I see your cheekbones. You look so pretty. You're so blooming. I love it. So I just wanted to give you a compliment. That's it.
to who? Dory?
Yes, to Dory. I can really see it. So
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, true. I know. I got
I
my
think you
cheekbones
guys
back. Thank you. It's really sweet.
support each other all the time, and that's amazing about this group. Like,
Yeah,
everybody
that's pretty
supports
cool.
each other.
That's what I love.
Marika, say something. Like, you wanted to say something, feel free.
Sorry, what? My son was shouting
You
for
wanted
a
to say
second.
something, feel free. There is more time.
No, I forgot.
That's okay.
No, I'm looking forward to this challenge that you set for us of the physical uncomfortable stuff. My mind is already spinning on ideas how to make that happen.
It's not an official challenge, but I guess it's a challenge
For me it is.
Yeah. And again, it's like, we're going to have a challenge, and by the end of the month, we're also going to have a menopause training for those of you wanting to come. But this is really, just take it as a challenge if you want. It's very cool. Do something uncomfortable, but do it for real. Not just saying, I'm going to say I'm going to do it and then I'm not going to do it. Just do it for real. It's going to change your life. Like, I did it, like, I heard it the first time a month ago on that way. And I'm like, I was running and I'm like, that's true. Let's try. Running uphill, usually I go until there's like I'm no hair. I cannot go. Like I kept going. Like it was 5 minutes more. It's like, that's true. Like if you think about you're actually not dying, you can continue, right? Like it's so easy. And people don't get that. It's like people feel like they're so limited. Your mind give up first. Your body is always going to be second. And your body, there is so many things that your body can sustain. Okay, so again, is there anybody else? I see Mirella here that she's unmuted. You guys can unmute yourself. Like you want to say something?
Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
Wait a second, please. I want to say hello to all girls and one boy. Yeah. I want just to say a little something, share with you. Maybe it would be easier for us to understand that it's our brain preventing us. That our brain making those uncomfortable feelings that we feel. It's our amygdala, you know. And when we're going out from our homeostasis, from our standard, I don't know, anything we do, when we push that a little bit more, our brain said stop, and make us discomfort. So maybe if we think about it, it's our brain playing with us instead of maybe a gun in their head. So
Maybe. You can
if
see,
we
you can see
understand
how you
what's
want
going
it.
on with us, maybe we can prevent ourselves from doing that. When we feel
Absolutely.
uncomfort, that unpleasant feeling in ourselves, just
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. It's our brain. It's
Yeah.
we're going out from our homeostasis.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be useful to know. It's our brain. It's our brain playing with us.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank you for
your
sharing.
attention. Bye.
That's a
Was
very
my pleasure.
that's a very good see it. I mean, the way to see it. You can
Thank
use
you.
whatever stratagem
Thank
you
you.
want, but you definitely need to use something to make this to happen. Ladies,
Sure.
that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing. If there is like, it's gonna be a replay if this thing records, and again, like watch it again.